everyone, and happy October. Happy spooky season, whichever you prefer. I know a lot of people are really into Halloween and the whole spooky vibe, and I get it. It's just not totally for me, I guess, because I wear costumes year round. It feels a little less special. I'm much more of a winter holiday, your Christmas and your New Year's, than I am Halloween. But I can still enjoy it for the fun. It's the chance I get to bring all my like spooky costumes out. So I guess to that end, I like it. Just a couple of quick reminders, and then I have some questions, kind of some serious questions. So I'll take some time to dive into that. But I did want to remind you of two things. First, this month is Wizard World, yay! And we will be back and vaxxed and masked, and I will be in costume. I will be there with Bachelor Pad Magazine, who will have plenty of new goodies. If you haven't, since it's been 2 years, really, he'll have a bunch of new goodies. I will also have some things, including my reminder number 2, which is your 2022 calendar. So I have these ready. If you missed the 18-month 2021 one, I do have the collection of 12 of my favorites that are here in this 2022 calendar, and you can order it on my website. If I run out, I'm making another run of prints, and those will be sent out to everybody by November at the latest, so that you get them in time for holiday gifts. So I asked on my Instagram page, what were some things you wanted me to talk about this month? I was running low on some inspiration, and you guys got emotional, which I love and I really appreciate it. So I thought that I would try to answer some of those questions in this. If it takes too long, I'll pick them up again in another video, but yeah, here we go. So the first question I got was, how do you feel comfortable in your own skin? How do you push yourself out of your comfort zone? And I guess I should preface this with, this is just me. This is how it worked for me. This is what I constantly deal with mentally every day. It might not work for everybody. It's definitely not the end all be all, but again, my page, my video, this is what works for me. Being 6 foot tall in high school, I was taller than most people in my class. I was taller than most people in my school. I was an athlete. I spent college and my 20s just trying to fit in. Thankfully, I was around athletes in college, so I was around other tall people. So my height, it wasn't an issue like it was in high school. And I learned to appreciate how tall I was. I love how tall I am. I wear heels. It doesn't bother me. I actually like it. It's nice to go out to places and be one of the taller people. People can find me. I can see people easier. Hardly ever do I have to deal with somebody's head in my way if I'm like at a movie or a show. So that's really nice. I have dated, everybody I've dated has been shorter than me. It doesn't bother me. If it bothers them, that's their problem, and that's why those relationships haven't lasted. I'm fortunate enough to be in a relationship right now where that person, it's not an issue. He likes how tall I am. I don't shy away from my tallest shoes when we're out together. It's really not an issue. And I think the biggest thing is that you have to feel good about you. And you need to surround yourself with people in your life that make you feel good about you. If you're surrounding yourself with people that make you feel self-conscious, that point out things that maybe you don't feel great about, for the most part, those are people you should have in your life. And it's probably time to evaluate how you are, what your inner circle is looking like. The other thing I guess I would say is in my 20s and in high school and college, I spent a lot of time trying to be normal, whatever that means. I tried to dress in what was like popular styles. I tried to enjoy things that everybody else enjoyed. And not to say that I don't enjoy those, but it really wasn't until I moved to Chicago and surrounded myself with people who liked similar things that I realized that, like, it's okay if I like to dress vintage, and it's okay if people look at me funny when I go out, and it's okay if people ask me why I'm dressed in a costume when I'm wearing my everyday clothes. I feel really good when I feel good about myself. I feel good when I'm out. That feeling of goodness, I think, is projected when I'm out, and people might look at me, that's fine. I mean, they're gonna look. The great thing about living in the city, and I know that this really narrows the focus because I am in a city and I'm in a very diverse city, and there's all sorts of people here, all shapes and sizes, they dress differently, they have different interests, and like, for the most part, nobody really pays attention to anybody. Everybody's just free to do their own thing. And I think the biggest thing for me was hitting that realization that, like, I don't know why I'm trying to fit in this box that I think I should be in. I should just be me. And it took a while. I'm not going to say it's just like this magical, you wake up the next morning and it's like great. It takes a while. There's definitely still times when I go out that I am aware that people are staring at me and I'm a little self-conscious. I definitely have tougher days and I have good days. I think it's just the inner mantra to constantly remind myself that I want to be happy being me. I don't want to not do things that I love just because other people don't love them. That's okay. So it's a constant daily thing. Reminding yourself that you are you. You have to be happy with you. You have to do the things that you enjoy, and it'll come. It's every day. It's a work every day, and there's nothing wrong. And it can change. It can change too. I could wake up tomorrow and decide I don't want to like vintage. That's not going to happen. But hypothetically, I could wake up tomorrow and decide that I don't like dressing vintage, and out the window it goes. Let's talk about the burlesque thing in the next. I'm going to pause and get some water. The other thing you asked about was pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. It kind of plays into what I was talking about feeling comfortable in your own skin. But for me, it was just deciding that I was tired of missing out on things I wanted to do and wanted to try because I couldn't find anybody to do them with me. For example, when I started swing dancing, I went to an event in 2015, and I saw people swing dancing, and I thought, oh my God, that looks like so much fun. And I came back to Chicago, and none of my friends were interested in doing it. I could not find anybody. And it took a whole nother year before I finally just decided, you know what? I want to do this. And I found a place here locally. Fortunately, swing dancing, you don't need to have a partner. It's actually encouraged that you don't just stick with one partner when you learn. And so I just figured, you know what? I'm going to go. I'm not going to know anybody. It's going to be weird, and that's okay. Same thing like when I was in my 20s and I was single for a long time, and I learned to not feel awkward going to a restaurant to eat by myself or going to a movie by myself. Nobody cares. I don't know why I was worried that people were going to be like, oh no, look at that poor girl. She's just eating by herself at a restaurant. Nope, nobody cares. I brought a book with me, ordered some food. I enjoyed time at the bar, or I sat at a booth. Like, for me, I just needed to tell myself, you just have to do it. I know you're worried. I know you're like thinking, oh, poor me. You know, I'm not going to know anybody. I'm kind of an introvert, which seems silly thinking about the things that I do for a living. But I am an introvert, and going places where I didn't know anybody is scary. I don't like small talk. So it just took me deciding that like, I'm just going to do it. And I did it. And in regards to swing dancing, the first lesson was weird, and then I met people, and then it was less weird. And then years later, I know people, and it's not weird at all. And I try to tell people, you just have to try it. And you can't wait for other people to bring you along with them. You just need to go. Be the leader of your own life, and just go and try those things and do the things that feel weird. You could not have told me 10 years ago that I would be getting naked on stage. No, Is it weird? No. Oddly enough, the naked part is less weird than the actual dancing and performance part. I would have never have been on stage for anything. I did not want to be the center of attention for anything. But I really liked what I was doing. I liked dancing. I liked just feeling good, and I was good at it. And I wanted to do it more. And I wanted to develop that relationship with audience members. And I wanted to share my joy and the fun that I was having with those people. And when you focus on things like that, about sharing your joy and being happy, other people are going to come along, and all the things that you're worried about or scared of, they disappear because you're focused on the good feelings than you are about the stress or anxiety or anything other than that. Again, this is just work for me. I'm not gonna lie and say like, yeah, every day is fantastic. It's not. I definitely have days where I feel crummy. I have days where I second guess what I'm doing with myself. I second guess decisions that I made. I second guess everything. I second guess everything. And that's just gonna happen. And I just have to remind myself that keep moving, keep doing the things that make me happy, keep sharing those parts of myself with people. And I think if you ask people who know me and have known me, they would tell you that I am a different person now. Maybe some of it's age, but I think just growing to be comfortable with myself and not caring about what other people think as much. It makes a difference. It makes a difference in how you tackle every single day. The other thought that I had, just as I was reflecting what I've been saying for the last 10 minutes, is that I had a really, really great conversation a couple years ago with a really well-known burlesque performer. And I was feeling not so great about myself and stressing about what other people thought about me and my performance style. And that individual encouraged me to start a notebook or a journal or anything where I wrote down all of the successes that I've ever had. Big, small, doesn't matter. And I mean, like, you know what? I sent that email that was really scary, but I sent it. Hey, put it in the notebook. It seems silly to reward yourself or pat yourself on the back for writing an email. But if that email was really scary for you to write and you did it, that's awesome. And those things, you need to remind yourself that those little things also add up to the big things. And it's not just the big things that need to be celebrated. And that, unfortunately, I'm not good about keeping the notebook anymore. But the general thought and the mantra behind the process is still in my head. And particularly in times when I'm feeling not so great, or have been hearing a lot of no's, or things have just been falling through. I'm just having a crummy day. I remind myself to think about all of those things. Maybe I didn't have a productive day yesterday and I'm feeling bad about it. So I think to myself, okay, why do you think you didn't have a productive day? Let's take a look at what things you did do that were good. You succeeded, you accomplished them, you checked them off your list. And I think that general concept applies to a lot of things, and it's really helpful. I realize that this is long. I'm sorry, but I wanted to get all of my thoughts out into one video. And I didn't want to break it into other parts, and I didn't want to censor myself by cutting things down. At the end of the day, you have to be comfortable with you. You need to put more weight on your thoughts and your feelings and less on other people's thoughts and feelings. And you need to surround yourself with people who make you feel good, because in turn you make them feel good. And that's the type of circle that you want to be in. It's hard. Sometimes you have to say goodbye to people that you didn't want to say goodbye to. But at the end of the day, it's about you and about your health, your mental health, and you being the best you that you can be. And I am constantly trying to be the best me that I can be and share that with all of you. Now I'm gonna go, I was emotional. Oh Lord. All right, I'm gonna go.